Hello everybody, Sand System 3 here. Now since I'm moving, I don't have too much to talk about, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, do some trick shots, you know? That was pretty cool. Hey, what about me? Wait, you mean these things? Huh, okay. Now let's just go to a recordable VHS, because in this episode I'm just going to be talking about recordables. Movies are pretty much the same, except maybe they're a little bit better looking, because, you know, they're professionally recorded onto. Now, I use my VHSs for many different things. One of them being, well, these videos. Isn't that nice? The other thing being, well, just recording stuff. I mainly have my retro consoles plugged in, but I can use my HDMI to composite adapter if I wish, but it's like all hooked up in the system, and you know, I only do it if I need to do that, and if I really have to, I can just have it go through my phone by putting the footage on my computer and then putting it through. But that would only be for if I needed the effect, not if, you know, I actually wanted to record it like that, because otherwise there'd be no point, because it's already on my hard drive, you know? So, just like most of these videos, this definitely isn't going to be a history thing. It's just going to be what I use it for and just about it in general. So VHS, is pretty fun. Here's my VHS-inator. If this looks worse, just because I'm using a different camera, but whatever. So, you know, you have your power, your stop and eject, obviously, because the VHS tape has to go in there. Here's the tape I use. That's an Memorex one. Not in the best condition. I ripped off the label on the front. So you got rewind, play, fast forward, pause it still, record, and the channel. So if you turn everything on, you turn on your PVM here. Okay, I don't feel like setting up a recording thing. But basically in the menu, it's all blue. But then if you press play, here let's rewind a little bit. So you can also rewind. You can rewind faster if you don't see what's happening, but you can rewind and fast forward slower if you can't see what's happening. So you can see that I just recorded still because I needed it for that scene. This is what I just did in that first part. So yeah, the way I recorded that was I just, attention, the reason this video is slightly late on the day of release is because I changed my way of doing this. Now I have the HDMI of my computer coming out. That's just going through a different port, through an adapter into that, but it's actually going out into the adapter I use, which is actually right there, you can see now, into here. So now I can take windows and put them in there to see what it generally looks like. Actually, it's a little bit better for editing purposes. So that's pretty cool. It's like a third monitor. I would show you things, but I don't care. You wouldn't care either. It's just gonna show the 3 monitor setup. So yeah, that's actually what I'm using now. So I can basically just take, oh gosh, if I can, you can take this, currently it's called, I don't know, VHS, I guess, put it there, and you can see what your footage looks like right there. So I actually don't use the phone anymore. Before I basically did the same thing, but I completely edited the video, put it on my phone, and then put it through that adapter, which proved problematic sometimes because if something isn't in frame, because it's squishing it, you know, because it still cuts off a little bit, you know, this is a lot handier and easier of a way, because I can see exactly what it's going to look like right there. This is just a quick rundown. So the composite goes into the TV, obviously, but then there's 2 inputs. Most ones have it on the front and on the back. This one's a stereo one, which is where I use it. And it doesn't have a DVD player because I don't use it, so I just like this one over my original one I used. And yeah, so that's how you record. This is for a camera that can output through composite. And that's pretty much it. After that, it's just kind of the effect of it that I use. Not really much else. So yeah, we'll talk about the tapes now. VHS tapes can come in many different forms. As you can see, they can be where you just kind of recorded onto Bob the Builder, Bob's White Christmas. Isn't that nice? Trisonic piece of junk 6-hour thing. You can tell it's a piece of junk because there's no top or bottom and it just kind of comes out like that. It was sealed when I got it, but it was so dirty I just had to take it off early. So this is a Memorex one. It's actually what I record a lot of these episodes too, because a lot of the higher quality ones I have are messed up, and I don't really want to waste the ones that aren't, but, you know, maybe I'll start recording to those. It's not too much of a reason for me not to. I haven't even gone through that tape over there yet. We got Scotch here, you know, it's slightly better, you know, it's like, hey, you know, it's actually pretty nice. Then you have your Sony one. This is an 8-hour one, so it's not the best quality, but, you know, you have your Sony ones. They can be pretty good, you know, because they're Sony, obviously. They have to be good. And then after that, you have your studio grade T120 stuff here. And it's not necessarily studio grade like they say, you know, but it is a really nice VHS. It has good colors. That's about all I have to say about that. Super Avillion. This is the best tape I have. Now, this is probably pretty expensive back in the day, as you can see. It's high standard. It's very heavy. So, yeah, that's a basic understanding of the different types of tapes. From, hey, I recorded over Bob the Builder, to, this costed me a lot of money and has questionable stains on it. Isn't that nice? Those people be really happy right now. This isn't true for everybody, obviously, but look at that. I have some nice labels that somebody already wrote some stuff on. Isn't that nice? Why did Liz write her name on this? You know, another cool thing about VHSs back in the day was that, well, certain games like Mario Paint actually advertise if you want to save a lot more of your pictures, you can save them to VHS. Because if you record like a second of that, you know, that's a lot of, you know, things you could have your Mario Paint VHS and literally never run out of space to put on it. And so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's pretty cool that, you know, say in the 80s, maybe 90s, when basically everybody had a VCR, you know, you could get one of these recordable tapes, which is a lot cheaper than movies. Movies were like $120 in today's money, while these were like $40, through my research. So if, you know, you had some of these, you had your video game console, and it had composite, even RF actually. Those have a lot of them, VCRs have RF in the back, and they can actually make it into composite. You know, it's a pretty cool thing. Darn Virtual Boy, I can't record you. Is it just me, or speaking of retro, me just sitting in my room talking about random stuff I have? That's a thumbnail right there. And hey, you know what? Since this is a Xena System 3 video, let's just leave the room and go outside, and we can, you know, go outside because that's what we do in these technology-based videos. Okay, so we're on eBay here, as you can see, and we're going to look for VHS tape recordables. Now, we all know that if you go to a thrift store, you can find these for 5 cents. So, you know, nobody really cares about that, you know. I got some of mine for 5 cents. As you can see, you know, they're pretty cheap. Oh, blank VHS, tape cartoons, 1990s. That's probably because it has cartoons on it. That's pretty expensive. You can type it in different ways to find different things, like VHS tape, recordable. Like, sometimes it gives you different prices and different things, but generally you're going to find the same results. So, you know, as you can see, there's new lot of 8 Sony 6-hour premium high-grade blank recordable VHS tapes, T120. Yeah, that's like 8 sealed VHSs, you know, 2 4-packs. Very nice, high-quality tapes there, and only $32 with a little bit of shipping. You know, okay, well, it's over $40, but, you know, that's still a pretty good deal. Like, you know, if I ever run out of good recordables, you know, I'll buy something like this, and I'll be set for probably the rest of, speaking of retros, you know, T120 blank VHS tapes 4-pack, you know, $26 plus little shipping, you know, somewhere unsealed. We got Barney here. I actually have that copy of Barney. That sounds like something right up my alley, so that's really cool. You know, we got that. As you can see, that's the same one I had. This one is sealed and brand new right here. You know, sealed good VHS tapes are pretty cheap. And then if we look up VCRs, you know, they still made a bunch of those. So obviously, Panasonic thing, $70 there. Looks pretty nice. Comes with the remote. I think that's oh, it's just an RF cable. Okay. But, you know, you can still see that it is, you know, some nice VCRs out there. They're kind of expensive, But I got mine at a thrift store for $14 and another one for like 20, so, that's probably gonna last me for a while, if one breaks. So, you can find plenty of VHS things. And so with that, I'm Xenon System 3. This has been a Speaking of Retro on VHS tapes. And sorry it hasn't been quite as good as some of the other Speaking of Retros. But, I have some better videos coming soon. So stay tuned for that or whatever. And goodbye.